Hello YouTube, Jared again. It is the night of the 26th, and after hours and days of furious painting, I am so happy to report all 80 clan rats are done. All 6 of the heroes are done. I have painted 88 out of 92 minis in my SKAVEN challenge in a month. And so all I have left now is the Screaming Bell and the Storm Fiends. So 4 miniatures left to go and 5 days left. I'm feeling pretty good about this challenge. I'm so excited to be caught up, but my goodness, has it been an ordeal to paint all of these clan rats. And so this is 80 clan rats. I'm going to be running the Plague guys as Plague monks, and then the Night Runners over here for Clan Eshin. And then this guy is kind of painted up in Clan Moors / Clan Verminous. I'm really happy with this. Really happy. Let's see if you can see how this sign turned out. I really like the variety and all the different banners that are present here. So happy with how all of these guys came out. I've now got more guys for Clan Skyer, more guys for Pestilence. I've got more guys over here for Eshin. So many rats. And then this is the Elite Bodyguard. These are the Storm Vermin. This will be 2 sets of 10, which is why they have 2 banners to bodyguard protect the general of my army. And I will give him Rictix's rules, but I feel like he needs his own name. So if you have a good name for a vermin general, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear some thoughts in terms of what should I name this guy, because he now has quite the horde to command. But there's something special that I have to let you guys in on. See, I've painted this month 80 clan rats to be used, a bunch of heroes. But earlier this year, for Christmas, I got the Skaven Tide box and some extra sprues. And so this is not all I've painted this year in terms of clan rats. In fact, it looks a little more like this. And so I now have 160 clan rats all painted up this year. And so for the year, I have 160 of these crazy clan rats, and all the banners are flying. There's even more heroes to command them from the first batch, and then of course I have more stuff that you've seen in previous videos. So once all of it's done, I'm going to do a 4,000 point final reveal highlight of all of my Skaven army. But this is the Tide. This is 160 clan rats divided up into 4 or 5 clans, ready to fight with their commanders, with their generals, with their special weapons. And I am so happy to see this on the table. This is just, it's been a lot of work. I have to say it's been a lot of work. But I am so happy with how this entire project has come out, with just the older sculpts and the new sculpts next to each other, all the different clans and banners. And I have to say, painting different clans fighting alongside each other has been a lifesaver. If I had painted all of these as Skyer, I would have lost my mind. But I painted 4 different clans. It really gave it some variety. It made it feel like I wasn't just painting the same thing over and over again, even though I have painted some of these shields and bodies a ridiculous amount of times. I'm so tired of painting that one circle shield and that one weird little pouch behind this triangle shield. And I feel like I know some of these details a little too well. But now that it's all painted up, freehanded the banners, done the bases, I'm going to probably touch up the bases at some point, but I need some room to breathe. Oh man, I'm already out of breath here. But it has been such a fun project, and I've tried different tones for the rat skin tones and different armor effects, and wow, this has been a lot of fun. And so I will find a way to get all of these rats on the table somehow. That's the next goal. But I'm just so excited. Look at this giant army of rats. And this is just something really cool to me, because this is the kind of thing that normally just lives in your head of, wouldn't it be cool if I had a table of rats? And now I really do have a table of rats, and they are all ready to charge into battle, dying immediately to the attacks from literally everything, and then coming back to life and trying to fight it out again and being respawned. And so clan rats are the disposable units. They clog up the board, they clog up the system, while the bigger units come in, the bigger rat ogres and the big cannons and stuff. But these guys are just a lot of fun, and there's so many little details and patterns, and some of them have stripes on their armor, and the molder ones have blood effects, and the Eshin ones have this dark green poison. The plague guys have the light green plague poison, and then I put the verdigris on all of the Skyer guys, so they have the silver with the verdigris. So just so many fun little effects. You got my kit. I showed this guy off in a very early video of mine. I have a kit bashed bombardier. I have so many little guys. And then I kit bashed this this Eshin assassin that I really am a big fan of. This is the Stonewall from the Giants kit, and so just a fun collection of foot heroes and foot infantry. So all of I got all the big guns and the big ogres off table right now, but this is just the scavenging horde. And this board here I cut and spray painted, as with the board behind it. All of these boards I made are the 22 by 30 that you'd use for a kill team or for smaller game sizes. And so it's zoomed in just a little bit, but you can kind of tell from the camera angle. This takes up, with them spread out just a little bit, they very easily body block an entire 22 by 30 board, or a quarter of a table that just fills up. And so if they spread out slightly, put a few of the guns, drop that Hellpit Abomination, the big cannon in there, I should be able to take up half a board, no problem, just with rat bodies. And so their strategy is nothing moves that they don't let move. And so that's going to be really interesting to see how it actually plays. I do want to try to do some kind of 4,000 point game or a narrative game or something, just to see what happens when you have this ridiculous number of rats on the table at the same time. And so these guys were fun to paint. We got bell players, we've got drummers, we've got this one dude has a whip that he got from Clan Molder. He traded off a whip, and he's the champion for these Skyer guys, but he's got a Molder whip. Originally, I was going to do him as Molder, but I wanted more Skyer. Molder had enough cool stuff, and Skyer really needs guys to body block for them because they have so many range weapons, whereas Molder has a lot of stuff that can take care of itself, like the Ogres and the Abominations, and then they already had a squad. So I figured I'd pivot them to Skyer because then that balances the points easier. A lot of these models have smaller rats riding on them. This guy's got a little tiny wound detail. I tried to paint, even though I was painting 80 and really 160 of these, I tried to paint as many of the little tiny details and making sure everybody has their eyes painted and the teeth are yellow and all the as many little details as you can get, because that's really what makes these guys special. So you can look in, and they're not painted perfectly, but you got the red glowing eyes and the little pink nose and then a different pink for their mouths, and just trying to make sure that every rat had at least a little bit of attention, even though I couldn't sit there and detail paint, and there's definitely all kinds of little mistakes if you look too closely at them, I'm sure. But trying to make sure the champion can be spotted pretty easily. This guy's obviously the champion over here. He's leading this squad. And then making sure that everything can be spotted is obvious. These guys are actually in the wrong squad. These are supposed to be back here. I can tell. Yep, he's over here. Just because I also made sure to paint them slightly different. And so, yeah, I was wondering why the Eshin seemed a little bit lopsided. These guys have a lighter skin tone than these guys. And then these guys have the same color armor as the other Eshin guys, just in a different order. And so to help these guys look different, you'll notice that they're in the same paint scheme, but I reversed the colors. And so these guys have slightly darker skin, but these guys have the brown up top, whereas these guys have the brown on their pants. So I think this guy doesn't have very much visible. His is mostly the greens. And so still has that greenish tone. Still clearly they're both Clan Pestilence, but you can tell that they're from the two different squads, and that hopefully it'll be easy for me to tell them apart. Because inevitably, you know they're going to get all mixed up. At some point, I'm going to be setting them aside too quickly while they're taking mass casualties, because of course they're going to take mass casualties, and I'm going to mix them all up and then have to sort them back out. And so I wanted to make sure that there was some kind of clear, visible marking, so that if I have two guys who are both Clan Skyer, I can go, oh, green top, white bottom, white top, green bottom. It's very easy to tell who goes which way. So green top over here, white top over here. But they're both still clearly Clan Skyer, and you're not confusing them with this Eshin assassin who looks totally different. And so, been very, very tactical in how I painted that. I wasn't expecting to be a huge fan of Molder, but the blood for the blood god effects, freehanding a little bit of red on these guys, just making them more dirty. And then the leather paint that GW makes is so much fun. The snakeskin leather, oh, that was such a fun one. So they have that on there too, and I'm a big fan of that paint. And then I tried to paint the correct banner pattern and kind of freehand that on everybody. So everybody's got roughly the correct rune. I got the Eshin rune over here, the Molder rune over here, and then I went for the the classic Great Horned Rat symbol on this guy for the leader. And then, of course, these guys already had their symbols on there, so I didn't have any control of that symbol. I was a little annoyed about that, but only a tiny bit just because it came out looking so good. And then the Plague guys have their symbol, correct symbol. Skyre's got their symbol over here. So I like seeing all the banners kind of waving. I'll have to find a way to position it, because right now it looks like the wind must be swirling around because all the banners are facing different directions. So that's a little bit silly. But I guess if I rotate this guy, kind of helps the banners to look more realistic. But it does. It just gives it such a fun effect. If you see the clans all gathering together for a great Vermintide to bring doom and destruction to all of humanity. So that's what clan rats are all about, right? They're here to die, to sacrifice themselves for the good of the Skaven and the sheer joy of bringing terror to mankind. So I had so much fun painting these guys. I am back on track. Hopefully finish painting the Bell and the Ogres, the Storm Fiends. That'll be done, and then I can kind of post a video celebrating that I actually finished my challenge. And then the next thing after that is I'll be at 92 Skaven painted. Plus, I did paint that Chaos Marine as my 1000th mini, meaning I'm at 93. And so I would only need 7 minis to say I painted 100 in a month. And so when I was basing him, or priming the Chaos guy, I also primed my black powder pirate captain from the Ogre Maw Tribes, and I have him, and he has 4 little minion assistants. So that would give me 5 more minis if I'm able to paint them up. We'll see how the weekend goes. If I'm busy, if my family needs me, work needs me, something else comes up, I'm not going to be sad. The goal was 92. I'm going to hit 92, I think. So I'm happy about completing my goal. But if I'm able to, if I have a weekend, some downtime this weekend, it'd be kind of fun to paint Captain and his 4 friends to get 5 more, and then I would only need 2 more miniatures, and I could grab 2 of those cavalry because they're already primed and ready to go. But trying to paint a whole bunch of horsemen is going to not happen, because I know for a fact that it takes way longer to paint cavalry than it does to paint infantry. I've painted cavalry in the past. They always take 3 times longer because you got to paint the base and the mount and the soldier, and then you want to put livery on it. You got to get all your fancy decorations. It's not flat panels. You got to put all this little doodads on there. Paint some freehand, and then I think there was a good sheet of decals for the knights, so I might want to do some of that too. So I might be able to get like 1 or 2 test models done to get me up to 100. If I don't hit 100, again, I'm not sad. Maybe there's something else small sitting around here that I could paint quickly. I did also build 9 Space Marines, so who knows? Maybe I grab a Space Marine from the Dawn of War board game and paint that to get to 100. Who knows? So I'll see what I'm feeling over the weekend, but that is also a possibility. But we're on track for Skaven. 4 minis left. They're big ones. They're complicated ones. We'll see how many days that takes, and maybe I'll painting them up to the line. So if that happens, it happens. But I'm going to really try to finish this project. And then afterwards, I've got more fun projects to paint. I do have some old metal Skaven models to give away. So I'm getting closer to 100 subscribers. If I ever do get up here to 100 subscribers, I want to give away a metal Skaven miniature just as a way to say thank you for everybody for subscribing, kind of celebrating this channel finally getting up to 100. And then I've been working on moving stuff around in my study. And right now I have this little table I can film at, and then I have my painting desk I film at. But I've also been getting my other side desk kind of a little bit cleaner and better for display, and I might be able to start doing some on-camera work. And then on the other side of the room, I've turned almost this entire study into filming now. On the other side of the room, I figured out I could set up a table and put a tablecloth on it and a tablecloth behind it, and maybe actually be able to film battle reports. So eventually it'd be fun to film a battle report. I know everybody always says they're going to film battle reports, and then I feel like nobody does and nobody actually watches them. So we'll see if I do or not. But I'd love to shoot a narrative game with these Skaven just to kind of celebrate them. Maybe do something with my Caradrons that I painted in my first challenge. But we'll see. I haven't really decided yet right now. Right now I've been doing the vlog kind of stuff about the hobby challenges, making sure I don't get a giant pile of gray and get everything painted that I want to get painted. But then also some board game or the GW board game kind of reviews and the building video and some stuff like that. And then I'll be doing some more challenges in the future, and then just kind of seeing what kind of videos do well, what kind of things people are interested in watching, what kind of stuff I'm interested in filming, and gotta go from there. So right now it's just going to be more Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40K, and see what happens and what people like, what I have fun filming and what I have fun building, and just chronicling my hobby journey. So this has been a lot of fun. I hope you are excited to see the reveal of all my clan, and it is a lot of rats. It's 160 rats plus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 heroes I'm seeing here. Yeah, plus 11 heroes would take it to 171 rats right here on camera. So 171 rats plus my other rats. I think it's almost 200 that I'll have total. So yeah, it's been fun, and I've painted so many rats. Well, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.